Welcome to the Catholic Leadership Network podcast, where we connect the wisdom and experience of ministry leaders to the realities of ministry in the trenches. We journey with ministry leaders through all the hidden aspects that help us to become fruitful ministers. Here at the Catholic Leadership Network podcast, we discuss the stuff that no one told you about Catholic ministry and strive to help ministry leaders succeed from the beginning. Our hosts are Christy the Director for Missionary Discipleship for the Diocese of Cleveland, and Sarah Jarzembowski, the Director for Marriage and Family Life at St. Elizabeth Ann Seton Parish in Crofton, Maryland. Please show your support for our efforts by clicking like and subscribe and commenting below. And now here,
I'm just going to hit record and see what happens, because it's been way too long since we've talked to folks.
So long. Hi, friends.
Way too long. Hey, friends. This is Sarah and Christy with the Catholic Leadership Network. And yes, it's been like 6 months and a whole lot has happened since we have chatted with you. So we thought we would come on and let you know we are working hard. Well, we're working.
I feel like we're working hard more than we're hardly working, guys. So
yeah, there you go.
yeah.
We're working on things.
Things are happening.
Things are happening. I've reached out to a couple of people, but what's been happening in these last 6 months? Like major life changes and updates have happened. So Christy, I see a new background going on there. Cute little Jesus going on back there. What's been going on with you in these last 6 months?
I moved, guys. I'm sans a brick wall in this new office space of mine. I moved to the Cleveland, Ohio area. I took the job as the Director of Missionary Discipleship for the diocese here, and that's been crazy exciting. I started December 1st, and I moved up here, of course, because I'm a crazy lady, by myself for a couple of months. And then Robert followed behind in the end of February. We closed on this house that I'm living in now. So
goodness. So you're working with Mike Hayes, who we talked to.
That's right.
Last season. So
yeah,
that was a good little connection that was made. That sounds great.
Yeah.
And you tend to move first in jobs. You did that with the Archdiocese of Baltimore too, if I remember correctly.
I did, but we decided Maryland was a little rough for us, so we never made the full move.
Oh, Maryland! Oh, come on, give us a breakdown here.
It wasn't the people. It was not the people. I love the people of Baltimore. It was the cost of living was like,
oh, it's crazy.
Wow, yeah,
it's crazy.
So, and the traffic. There's so many humans in the Baltimore
Chicago
metro area.
People, it is nothing. Chicago people, just roll your eyes right now. It is absolutely
LA,
just nothing.
Deep sigh for LA.
Move along. There's no traffic out here. What are you talking about? But you were coming in from Greensburg, Pennsylvania?
Yeah, absolutely.
So
100% rural suburb area. Nothing. I've never seen the amount of vehicles. Guys, listen, 2 miles it was from where I lived in the city to the office. That stuff took me 30 minutes easy every day just to get to the parking garage.
What?
So I'm not, and then 6 miles up to Roland Park where St. Mary's University is, that was 45 minutes, so, and that was the good times because there were more lanes of traffic to move along,
and that's when the traffic lights were working. Remember that time that the traffic lights cut down and there was literal gridlock? Oh my gosh, that was crazy.
Yeah, I specifically
somebody did something to the traffic lights at one time in Baltimore, and there was I have never seen gridlock. That was gridlock. There was no way to move.
There was nowhere to go. But these are the reasons why I ended up buying an SUV, so I could see what was happening, because it was driving me crazy to be in a sedan and being like, what's going on? Is it an accident? Is something happening? No,
nothing's happening. Just people.
Traffic lights are not working.
Just people.
Everyone's broken.
Yeah, everyone's broken. Aw, people are broken.
So Sarah, what's going on in your world, buddy? Oh, she's giggling and like she can't even speak.
Well, I don't like talking about my accomplishments and things, so it's tough for me. But I graduated with my master's degree, Master of Pastoral Studies from Loyola in New Orleans. So it was really
Wolfpack?
what Wolfpack
in the house.
Oh, Wolfpack. It was really great. It was really great. First time I was on campus was graduation eve. And it was just a great experience. I wasn't, originally I wasn't going to walk. But my wonderful husband was like, no, I know you don't like to celebrate yourself, but you need to celebrate this. You need to actually do the ritual, right?
Yeah.
We're ritual people, and you need to be part of that ritual. He's like, you need to have that moment of walking across that stage. He's like, we don't have to stay, we can go to Disney right after. I'm like, can we? And I'm telling you, folks, we literally did that. The ceremony was going on a bit too long. So I left a little early.
It's a lot of people.
It was a lot of people. It wound up being a 3-hour ceremony. We left at the 2-hour mark because we had a flight to Orlando, and we hit Magic Kingdom that night. I was still in my gown and hat and tassel, and we went from the tassel to the castle. I had my diploma case because, they never give you the diploma for fear of giving you the wrong person's name. So I had the diploma case, and we went down Main Street and took pictures, and it was really cool. Later, it was great because Paul kept taking the gown with him in his backpack, because we would find these really cool places to take pictures. And I want to say it was Wednesday of that week. So it was a couple days later. We actually made our way to Mickey Mouse in Town Square in Magic Kingdom. So it was like 4 days later. And I had the cap and gown on, and I didn't realize how much I needed that moment. I just started crying, and Mickey's crying, and I'm crying, and he was proud of me, and I was proud of me. And it was just a moment that I realized that I had been looking forward to. I had been looking forward to telling Mickey Mouse that I had gotten this degree, and yeah. And it was interesting because, I had another, family friend, from high school, I'm friends with the whole family, right? And I was friends with my friend Leo and his mom. And his mom, I just was one of those moms that you tell everything to. She was always in the room when you were at the house. And I saw her a couple of weeks later, and she congratulated me. I'm like, why? What did I do? And I'm like, oh, yeah. I'm like, wait, what? And she's like, I didn't know you were getting the degree. And I said, well, I wasn't really telling anybody because I didn't want anybody to know if or when I failed. Oh. And it was out of my mouth before I realized what I was saying. And she's like, you are so funny. I'm like, oh my gosh, no, that's really why I was doing that. And it was out of my mouth. The truth of that was out of my mouth so fast. I really wasn't telling anybody. I didn't want people to know, number one, that I didn't have it, because when I was working at the Archdiocese, people assumed that I had it. Yeah. Right. So I didn't want people to know that I didn't have it. And when, if I didn't finish it, if I didn't follow through, which I've not followed through on a lot of things in my life, but if I didn't follow through on it, for whatever reason, I didn't want people to know that I didn't follow through. So it wasn't really telling people, so, it was just a really cool moment that it had happened, and the follow through happened, and you can now call me Master.
Yes, Master.
You can now call me Master,
But it's funny that you say that, because we were talking before, and I said, I noticed this new thing about myself since I achieved my master's degree. And I had some sense of what education meant to me in my life and the lack thereof and all of that. And it wasn't until I actually had the piece of paper, I noticed a new confidence in myself that I hadn't had before. And I think a willingness to speak up. And I think everybody has, to some degree, something like that in their life, where there's this little thing that's like the little chip on your shoulder that you're carrying around that you don't know why you are holding back. And when you can get to the bottom of that, and if you can figure it out, it's really freeing and very empowering.
Yeah. Well, and it's interesting because when I started this, I don't think I have it down here. They tell you to start with a journal and start writing things, and I'm terrible at a journal. I don't journal. Crap. but also to work with a spiritual director, and Timon is my spiritual director. So it's great because she tells me when I'm full of, poop.
That's
Um,
excellent.
and and she asked me at the very beginning, she's like, so what do you really want to get out of this? And at that time, working for the archdiocese, it was very much, I want to be able to have the language to be able to speak. Like, I felt like I didn't have the proper language to be able to speak up in meetings at the archdiocese, or to hold my own in those meetings. I didn't think that I had the language to speak to our archbishop or the bishops.
Oh,
I didn't think that I had the language that they would listen to. Like, there's a language that they hear, and there's a language that's written. There's a language there. So, I was looking for that language, and so Timon, at the end here, she kind of came back to that. And, here's where I've seen that your language has shifted and gone deeper. And you've shared with me these conversations where you've been able to hold your own, with your new pastor, with Paul. I've been able to hold my own with Paul, which I think he's always the smartest person in the room, but I'm a little biased, I can hold my own with certain people that it really intimidated me, and I feel like you and our conversations have become really rich as well. I've thought that you were really smart too. You've read all sorts of documents and books and things like that, and I feel like the way you and I have been able to have conversations have become really, really rich as well. So it's not always about the book smarts, but it's really about how to break it open and to process, and to, I realize that I see the world differently.
Yeah.
And it's interesting to watch people who don't see the world through this sort of processing, this sort of theological processing, this sort of God's presence, in the world around us, kind of thing. So, gosh, that was a really long answer to, hey, Sarah, what's going on in your world? I got a master's degree. That's it. That's all I needed to say.
No, that's not it. It's a big deal, and it changed a lot of things for you. And I think that's really, really exciting. And guys, just on an aside, I got to watch, because they live streamed the graduation. So I was all excited, and I'm just gonna say that Loyola graduations are cooler than yours, almost 100% guaranteed.
Oh yeah, we had a really good speaker. We had John Baptiste, and he was spot on. If you could find that, I'll see if I can find it, because he gave us 3 key insights. He's like, know your stuff inside and out again, know it frontwards and backwards, and just be able to know it from your soul and everything that you are. I want to go back and watch it again, because it was so powerful. I wish I had my notebook. I wanted to take notes, so I need to go back and watch it. He was really great.
Fantastic. And really cool folks that were there, and it was really
the lady who won that, who got the doctorate too. Oh, I wish I could remember her name. She is worth much more than the lady. I'm so sorry that I can't remember her name.
From England, a super scientist, literally a rocket surgeon. Yeah. Amazing, the stuff that she has worked on and come up with, and the strides that she has made for women in science were incredible. So we'll figure out her name, and
I'll find that somewhere
in the comments or something.
Yeah. No, Christy, another new thing that's happened with me fairly recently is my job title is changing. I am going to be the director for marriage and family life at our parish. So we have found somebody to help take care of some of the work that I've been doing. So I've been the director for evangelization and adult faith formation, which is really that cradle to grave, everything, faith formation. But children's faith formation and family faith formation has really taken a hold of what I do, and has been a majority of what I do. And so we have a new person coming in who's going to take care of the outreach and the adult spiritual enrichment and the RCIA that I was always struggling with. I mean, I was on the struggle bus with that. You know, I kept calling you and texting you. I'm like, what do I do about this? You know, and I'm texting. I don't know. What am I supposed to do?
It's complicated. RCIA is complicated, and
Yeah.
if anybody tells you otherwise, then so sorry guys, but they're probably doing it wrong. So
That's right. That's right. There's no one way. There's no just do this class kind of thing. It's not. And so
gotta
we
be
got
able to
somebody
flex
coming
them.
in to do that. And so I'm doing again what I told God I didn't want to do when I started this job. I told him I wanted to get rid of the children's formation because I didn't know anything about children. So come in and take away this children's formation because I don't know what I'm doing. And I
She's
have vacation
awesome at it.
yeah, right. And I have vacation Bible school in 10 days. That I have never done vacation Bible school in my entire life. I never attended
So
vacation Bible
fun.
school. I've never been part of volunteering. I have no idea what I'm doing. I am way behind, folks. So, wow.
We're gonna be great. It's so fun. It's like Disney church for a week. Really. I mean, look at it that way. Everything's magical. Every little bit of it can be exciting. And the kids get super, like, it's super fun. Yeah.
Yeah, but the magic is like we have to create the magic, so I'm a little nervous about that. Like the magic is you know, like I have to create the magic, so I'm a little nervous about that.
You're not
And
magical at all.
This year, there's a lot of like, I mean, there's a lot of like science-y things to do, and I just don't have the time to like do it beforehand to test it out. So I'm a little nervous about that. I'm like, oh, I gotta test these little science projects out.
Oh my
I don't
gosh,
know,
that's
popping balloons, and I don't know.
popping
Folks, I don't know.
balloons full of something in particular, or just we're just popping
Water
them?
and air and lemon and something about lasers and lights and fog machines. I have a fog machine.
Are you guys doing stellar?
Yeah.
Yeah, I set up the pairs that I left to be able to purchase that. So I hope that they did. I hope that they're able to run it. I don't know.
I don't know. But our parish is really great. I put together a wish list on Amazon and things are just coming in. They're just coming
Yeah,
in.
it's so honestly, and where else? Oriental does a great job of like supplying. They find out what the VBS themes are going to be, and they have a whole bunch of stuff that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely, I mean, and I was gonna say last year I thought mine was kind of like whenever I look back at the stage area, well, so first of all, let's do a shout out. I had an amazing artist paint me these two incredible backdrops. Ours was like a Southwest Canyon kind of a theme last year, and that piece was incredible. And I had these I had a lot of supplies from the previous people that were there. So I had these pillars around, but when you looked to the right, I don't know, it may be, and I was in charge of it. So I'm going to just take full responsibility for the fact that it looked like a little kid did it. And nobody complained because they were kind and generous and sweet, but even if it's lame, Sarah, the kids still love it and they still have a good time. And the kids have way more imagination, so they just a little bit will take them to the places. But one of our listeners, Sandy Meunier, her daughter Kristen was my artist and did like these two beautiful, and one was the starry sky that was just amazing. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, I love those.
Well, I'm excited about a couple of things. So we have we live near NASA Goddard. And so we live far enough away that we have quite a few parishioners who work at NASA. And we have a young adult couple who work on some of the telescopes that are out there. Right.
Wow.
And so they're going to come in and talk about and show the kids light that we cannot see.
Whoa.
So there are colors of light. There are colors that we cannot see. And so it's a couple, like they're married and they live like they walk to church.
That's awesome.
Their home backs up to our church property. I love them. So they're going to come in one day and during snack time, they're going to share and they're going to talk about all of that. And then I'm trying to get, so we have an amazing one of our Seton seniors. She came into my office one day. Oh, I wish I had her with me. She comes in with this Cabbage Patch doll that is dressed as in her space astronaut outfit. And
I
she's
had
like,
that
I
one.
have this. I have this. Can you use this?
I had that one.
I'm like, I love this so much. I never had a real Cabbage Patch doll. My mom, God bless her soul, she made me two. So she made them. So they weren't really real, but now that I'm a grown up, I can like totally respect them. But this is my first real Cabbage Patch doll, and I'm kind of freaking out. And then she said, so I don't know if this is helpful or not, but I went to space camp and I have like the jumpsuit. Would you want the jumpsuit from space camp?
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah. Yeah.
you what? I'm like, tell me.
Wait. Well, how soon is your VBS?
It's in 10 days.
Oh, because I was gonna say, what would be super cool is if you guys could like get a cardboard sheet and then pin that outfit to the cardboard with the head cut out so that kids could get their picture taken like they were wearing the suit, but that way you're not abusing the suit by trying to put it on to people. I think that would be insane.
Actually, that's a really good idea. That's a really good idea. I might see if we can do that. It's
paint it green, and
suit.
put a paint the cardboard green and put a, or just cover it with green table cover from like Walmart, and then put green up on the wall, and then that way somebody that's good at Photoshop can cut them out and put them on a space background.
That's awesome. So I asked her, I said, so Barbara, what do you remember about space camp? She's like, oh, but we were in this thing where we bounced around weightless. And I'm like, oh my gosh, can you come in and talk to our kiddos? She's like, oh no, I wouldn't know what to talk about.
Oh my gosh, are
I'm
you
like that?
Well, just, you know what you could do, Sarah, because I it's the same as this right here, what we're doing.
Yeah.
Do an interview with her so that it's more comfortable, right?
Yeah.
So like just ask her the question so that then she could just have a conversation with you back and forth and it feels less. I mean, the kids would be there to
Christy,
see it.
this is why I need you in my life.
I have so many millions of ideas all the time.
See, this is
you just need a
being
creative.
a DRE or a children's faith formation makes me so nervous because I'm not that original, or like I don't think like that like in the moment. I'm like, I don't know, you guys, what do we do?
Well, I'm always thinking about like what would make it easier for that person. And I'm sure since she's saying she doesn't know what she would talk about, you just ask her the questions and you could have that like this cool, like, this is a semi-real astronaut.
Semi-real astronaut. Oh my gosh. I just think it's so cool. We have like the guy who basically is the second in command at Goddard goes to our church.
That's insane.
Yeah,
That's
I know,
so
right?
cool.
I know.
Yeah. I wanted to be an astronaut whenever I was like 10 years old. So I did have astronaut Cabbage Patch. I had astronaut Barbie. I had a subscription to, I can't remember what the name of the magazine was. It was about astronomy and the stars and all of this stuff. And yeah, I was super duper into it.
So I just realized I have the Sally Ride quarter sitting on my desk.
All right.
Right? I didn't realize that. Ride, Sally, ride.
Yeah.
All right. So anyway, so that's what's happening here. So I don't know what I'm doing, but apparently I'm doing children's ministry because, guys, I decided to tell God, no, I don't want to do children's ministry. So stop doing that, Sarah. Just stop doing that.
Yeah, you don't get to tell God no very much, really. Like I know that I've been in plenty of places where I'm like, I think you mean someone else. I don't think it's me for this, whatever it is. Call someone else.
No.
Yeah. Kicking and screaming, right?
No.
Yeah. It was a 3-year process before I got to Baltimore, just so you know. Like someone had been harassing me and saying, like, you should apply to the job in Baltimore. And I was like, no, I don't have the qualifications. My kids are in school. I don't want to move. I can't do this. I can't do that. And sure enough.
Oh, I'm glad you did, because then we met.
Me too. Yeah.
Okay. So enough about us. That was way too long of a, hey, where we've been in. well, in the last 6 months. But hey,
We're
guys,
the
this
only
is
ones
how
on
our
this call.
conversations go. This is totally how our conversations go. But so we are looking ahead. We are looking ahead this summer and into the fall to do some podcasts. And we're really looking at, some of the, wait, where are my notes? What did we say we were doing? Effective leadership, engagement, blind spots.
Blind spots a lot.
Blind spots. Like what, how do we see our blind spots, move forward from them?
Yeah, and always,
Visioning,
guys, like
yeah.
there's always that central piece of what did I wish that I knew at the beginning? And then
Right.
Sarah and I also had a conversation about, what keeps you going. So if you're on our Facebook page, we did put a post up there. Feel free to comment. Feel free to comment on this video about if you're a senior leader, what has helped to keep you going in ministry. And then we always want to talk about what are the things that you wish that you knew whenever you started out, or that someone had told you
Yeah.
that you were missing along the way.
What would
Sarah,
help you? Yeah. Oh, go ahead. Yeah.
well, I was going to say, I was talking to my sister this morning and she was saying that they had a conversation at her work. We're thrown back to a couple of previous podcasts here. So Jessica Zeiser was on the show.
Oh, yeah.
And she was saying about at her work, they were having also questions about onboarding in general. And I said, I wonder if I'm wondering what's the expectation and then what's actually happening and where are we missing the mark in between those two,
Yeah.
So I know that everybody struggles with onboarding because you're hoping sometimes you're not doing it for a really long time. So if you have somebody that's been in a position, for 7, 10, 15 years plus, you haven't had to do onboarding for that role. So
Yeah.
you almost don't even know what a new person would need to know to be able to step into those shoes.
Yeah.
And then there's other stuff where I do think that a new person comes in with a little bit of an expectation. And then when those things don't meet the criteria, like what actually happens doesn't meet those expectations, it can be really disappointing. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, so if you guys could share any of that stuff that you started a new role and you sure wish the pastor would have told you this, or somebody would have given you that, or what tools that you didn't have at your disposal. Yeah, we're open to that whole entire conversation. We do have a couple of folks
Yeah.
that we want to bring on, so we've got some special
Yeah.
guests. But if you know somebody that you would like to see on the show too, tell us
Let us
that.
know.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're really here to help you and to help have conversations that you would like to have. Right? What's the conversation you would like to have and who would you like to have it with? So, if there's somebody, so Christy and I were talking the other day and we were just kind of throwing names out there, and she throws out these names that, we hear on the social medias and they're the influencers and everything. And I'm like, yeah, okay, let's do that. And she's like, can you get them? I'm like, I don't know. We'll ask. You know what I mean? Like, let's ask, I'm sure I know somebody who knows somebody who knows them. Let's figure it out, So if there's somebody that you'd like to hear from, let's see what we can do.
The other thing
look, I did try for Brene Brown, Christy, but she was busy over the summer and she's very focused on her family. So we'll have to come back to her later. I just don't think that we're a big enough podcast. So everybody click and subscribe because
tell your friends
following for Brene Brown to come and join us.
For Christy
to talk to Brene Brown. But anyway, seriously, give us some names of people that you would love to have those conversations with. And we really do want to make them happen. What are the conversations that you want to have that would help make your ministry more fruitful, easier, things that you wish you knew when you started? Like, what is it that could help others who are just starting in the ministry? So let's kind of get thoughts on that.
Well, and the other thing too is in the Catholic world anyway, what I've noticed from Catholic speakers and whatnot, for the better part, they're regular people who are down to earth and want to have the conversation, because they're aware of the knowledge that they have, and they want to share that because they want everybody to be able to do well in ministry, because really at the end of the day, the work that we're doing is for the kingdom of God, and building that up is all of our jobs. So anybody that's going to be like, no, I don't want to talk about new people in ministry or contribute to their support or help, those people aren't the kind of people we want to talk to anyway.
That's
so
right. We don't want to talk to you.
No, let's be part of the helping and contributing. But yeah, feel free, guys, give us your comments, your questions. We want to, this podcast is to serve you. So that's what we're here for.
Yeah.
What was that face?
I don't know what that face was. I just looked up and realized that like I have weird resting face. Like, I don't know what that was. So I don't know. If you're just listening to this, I looked up at myself and I had this really weird look on my face, and I don't know. I had weird resting face. It was very weird. Let's not do that again.
Oh my goodness. That's hilarious.
Let's not screenshot that either.
my fingers aren't fast enough, and this is a new laptop for me. So I don't actually know if I know how to screenshot on this computer.
I don't know how to do that either. We'll figure it out. Anyway.
I have to remind myself all the time on how do you screenshot? I used to know.
Well, gosh, I think we're getting off track here. All right, everybody. That is our podcast for the day. Please click like and subscribe. Please share with others the work that we're doing here. If not this super long podcast, one of our other ones that might be more relevant to the work that you do. But please do share with us what it is we can do to help you out in your ministry. We are here to support you, as well as have a good time. Our ministry is also to share the joy of God's love. So let's have some fun doing it. All right, we'll see you guys in a little bit. It might be a week or two before we get things off and rolling, because I got vacation Bible school in 10 days, but we're going to get out there and we're going to start putting people on the schedule for our podcast. And we'll see you real soon. All right, bye, you guys.
Thank you for joining today's podcast. Please click the like and subscribe. And if you find this important to the conversations you're having in your local ministry, please share and join the conversation in the comments below. Thank you, and we'll see you next time on the Catholic Leadership Network podcast.